Hello book nerds, welcome to Bookshelf Bunny. I'm Kim and this is the Easter book tag. Hey guys, so I'm wearing a little bunny hat in order to celebrate Easter. Easter book tag, bunny hat. Just call me little bunny. Let's get right into it. Our first question is, rabbits, a book you wish would multiply. So a book you want a sequel to that doesn't have one. I'm choosing Verity by Colleen Hoover. This book, I need to know what happens next. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. You're either team manuscript or team letter, and it ends in such a way that you just know that our main character is still in trouble. She's still in trouble, but we don't know how. I wish this had a sequel. Verity, 100%. Next question. Egg, a book that surprised you. A book that surprised me was Finlay Donovan is Killing It. Initially, I did not gravitate towards this book. It was chosen as one of my 12 by 12 by 12 challenges, so 12 books in 12 months recommended by 12 friends. My friend recommended this, so I read it. It was selected, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was not your typical cozy mystery, which is kind of what I thought it was going to be. It's also a comedy, and it's great. I really enjoyed this. And our next prompt is Hunt, a book that was hard for you to get your hands on. That's pretty easy. We're gonna go with this beauty, the Bachman books. Stephen King's books. It's a compilation of some of his Bachman works, and the reason this one is hard to get a hold of is because of this story here, Rage. It is not in print any longer, and you either find it or you don't, secondhand. Luckily for me, my sister-in-law found this and gave it to me, because it was a tough one. So I lucked out there. I really did. But while I was looking for it, oh my god, if you can find a copy, it's stupid expensive. Rage. Next question is Lambs, a children's book that you still enjoy. So this is like a middle grade book. It's like a kid for maybe 10-year-olds. My Babysitter is a Vampire by Anne Hodgman. I read this when I was in elementary school and I love it so much. It's a whole series. This is the first book, and Vincent the Vampire is probably my favorite character in the whole world. In my writing, he's been the model for so many of my characters. I just love this guy. The basic premise of My Babysitter is a Vampire is Meg and her little brother Trevor, other way around, Meg and her little brother Trevor, they moved to an island for the summer for vacation, and her parents are still working, so they need a babysitter, and they hire Vincent, a teenage boy. He looks like he's about 16. But Meg knows otherwise. She quickly begins to suspect that he is, in fact, a vampire. And that's when the shenanigans ensue. This one. Next question. Spring, a book with a cover that makes you think of spring. I think I've used this one in a similar prompt before. That's going to be 100 Days of Sunlight by Abby Emmons, which I still haven't read. I've had it for a while. It's a problem. But just look at this. Look how gorgeous that is. It's bright. There's flowers. Everything about this says spring to me. Next, Jesus, a religious or spiritual book that you love. I'm going to go with this one. This is actually written by a friend of mine. A Home for Susanna by Carol Harrison. It's a whole series. There's 3 books out right now, I think. I think there's only 3 still, but I believe she has like 7 or 8 planned or something. And it's basically a pioneer story. So if you're familiar with Love Comes Softly, I think by Janet Oak, it has a similar vibe. So we have a family. They've emigrated to Saskatchewan in hopes of land and building a future, having a place for their own, and the struggles that they encounter, they rely on their faith to get them through. So for my friends who are not necessarily into inspirational fiction or Christian books, this, while it has those elements, is very light. Overall, it's just a very sweet story. So I recommend this. Next, Rising from the Dead, a book from a deceased author. Well, this was easy. I had to feature this. Anne Rice. So this is The Witching Hour. Anne Rice is a phenomenal author. She's probably best known for the Interview with a Vampire series. But everything I've read by her, I've loved. I have never been disappointed by Anne Rice. And she was just a wonderful person. She was a good lady, and I really look up to her as an aspiring writer. Anne Rice. Let's remember her. Next book, Baskets, a book that is in your Amazon cart or wish list right now. Let's see. What is in my Amazon cart or wish list right now? Where are you, Amazon? Let's go to the wish list. Which, by the way, if you're feeling generous, you can find in my links below if you feel like sending me a bookish present. Of course, no obligations. So this is a book that's in my wish list. It's called Forever Today, and it's by an author named Deborah Waring, which Waring is actually my maiden name, and so I find this fascinating because I wonder if the person this book is about is related to me. So it's about a gentleman, and he had an injury when he was younger that gave him amnesia. So like 50 First Dates, but way worse. He has like a 30-second memory or something like that. And every 30 seconds it resets. And he doesn't remember where he is. He doesn't remember what happened to him. He knows he had an accident and that he was hurt. He knows that he misses his wife and he wants to see her. And then it all resets. So I feel like I would just absolutely love to read this book. I'm going to see if I can find you a better picture. Where's Goodreads when you need it? This, Forever Today. I really want to know if I'm related to this guy. His story is so tragic. And he sounds like he was just a massive virtuoso and super talented. His story is fascinating. This is a book in my wish list that I would really like to read. Candy, a book that is sweet. I'm reading the 2nd volume right now, so I thought I'd talk about the 1st volume. This book is so sweet. I love it so much. So as you can tell, I am a giant nerd. I like a plethora of things that are considered of the otaku. And I just relate to this book so much because I also work in a corporate office. Lucky for me, I found love as an otaku, and my amazing husband is just as much a nerd as I am, and it worked out great. But this is a story about people in a corporate environment who are trying to balance their socially frowned upon nerdiness with their corporate lives, and it's a romance, and it's sweet, and I love it. Okay, and the last prompt is Peeps, tag someone. And per usual, if you are watching this, consider yourself tagged. Okay, book nerds, that's all I've got for you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Has anyone read any of these books that I've mentioned? I'd love to chat about them with you in more detail. Okay, and don't forget to do this tag. And if you do it, make sure you tag me in your description or whatever with the @ sign. And I'll watch your video. Okay, book nerds, I'll talk to you later. As always, happy reading.